Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Professor Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. Malaysian road accidents continue to be more deadly than the Wuhan coronavirus. We've been covering the Ops Selamat operation closely for days now, and the death toll keeps rising. So while you're focusing on not catching a virus, maybe it's also time to practice safe driving and riding habits. As of this morning, the coronavirus has claimed a total of 170 lives in China. But in Malaysia, 171 people have died from road accidents in just 11 days during the Ops Selamat 16 held in conjunction with Chinese New Year. Not surprisingly, most of the fatalities involve motorcyclists and pillion riders. Selangor leads the state with the highest number of road fatalities, followed by Johor and Sarawak. Bukit Aman Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department Director Azizman Alias said so far a total of over 16,000 road accidents were recorded involving over 25,000 vehicles. Fatal accidents involving drivers under the influence of alcohol has also been on the rise according to Transport Minister Anthony Loke, and the government is ready to make necessary amendments to allow for harsher punishments against drivers under the influence of alcohol and drugs. The matter was discussed in the cabinet meeting on Wednesday, and Loke said he got a positive response from fellow ministers.
Dan saya telah mendapat persetujuan secara prinsip daripada Jemaah Menteri untuk Kementerian Pengangkutan melihat semula peruntukan undang-undang dan meminda peruntukan-peruntukan yang sedia ada untuk kita memperketatkan undang-undang berkenaan dengan pemandu di bawah pengaruh alkohol ini dan juga pengaruh dadah.
The government will also be looking to reduce the permitted level of blood alcohol content for drivers.
Iaitu kalau tidak melebihi 80 mg ataupun 0.08 G, ia dibenarkan ataupun tidak melanggar undang-undang. Tetapi kita mendapati bahawa piawaian ini tidak mengikut piawaian antarabangsa. Piawaian antarabangsa iaitu World Health Organization WHO menghadkan pemandu iaitu 50 mg alkohol dalam 100 ml darah ataupun 0.05 G.
Loke added that Section 41 of the Road Transport Act concerning reckless and dangerous driving which causes death would also be amended. Gatherings were held across the nation yesterday in support of Zuraida Kamarudin, and in Penang, one of her supporters said that 10,000 grassroots PKR members were ready to leave the party if she is sacked. But what is 10,000 to a party with almost 1 million members? The threat made by supporters of PKR Vice President Zuraida Kamarudin that her sacking could lead to 10,000 party grassroots members leaving the party has not had an impact on PKR Secretary General Saifuddin Nasution. According to him, it's uncertain if 10,000 would actually leave the party, but what is certain is that the number of people signing up to join PKR every week.
Saya tak tahu berapa ramai nak keluar, saya tak tahu. Tapi sebagai Susah Agung, tugas saya setiap minggu melaporkan dalam Biro Politik kemasukan anggota baru ke dalam parti. Itu 10,000, betul.
Zuraida is currently under disciplinary review, believed to be over remarks made against PKR President Anwar Ibrahim at a dinner last December. Meanwhile, Saifuddin said he will not be withdrawing his letter of demand against Zuraida over allegedly defamatory remarks she made against him last year as well.
Yang dituduh, tuduhan ke atas saya itu sangat spesifik dalam ucapan-ucapan yang diberikan. Ya, bahawa saya menerima berjuta ringgit daripada kerajaan PAS Kelantan masa saya berkhidmat di Kelantan. Okay, saya dibayar berjuta ringgit oleh tabung amanah Tok Kenali. Itu spesifik disebut. You know? Maknanya untuk Zuraida memberi kenyataan seperti itu. Tiba-tiba rakan pemberita kata, boleh tak saya tarik balik? Saya tahulah, saya tak ambil duit tu kan lah.
Saifuddin added that he will wait for her response before deciding whether to proceed with a lawsuit. Are you from Wuhan? If you are, you're not going to gain entry into Malaysia, like 14 Chinese nationals found out today when they arrived at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport and were sent back. The government sent back 14 Chinese nationals from Wuhan who arrived at KLIA on Tuesday, said Home Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. Muhyiddin said the action was taken following the government's decision to temporarily bar visitors from Wuhan and Hubei province to contain the spread of the coronavirus in the country.
Yeah, I mean, they are not allowed to enter, so they have to leave as soon as possible.
Are they still here?
I think as far as I'm concerned, the immigration say they have gone back.
Wuhan is believed to be ground zero for the novel coronavirus that has killed 170 people so far. The city and Hubei province has been placed under lockdown by Beijing. Earlier today, the Health Ministry confirmed an 8th case of the coronavirus in Malaysia. In a press statement, Health Minister Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said the 8th patient was the wife of another patient who was confirmed positive in Johor yesterday. The 49-year-old woman is currently in an isolated ward at the Permai Hospital in Johor and is in stable condition. He said all 8 patients are Chinese nationals. Yesterday we told you the story of Bala, one of the many Malaysians stuck in Wuhan with his family. While the government works on bringing them home, we're happy to report that they're all healthy. All Malaysians currently in the lockdown Wuhan and its surrounding areas are free from the 2019 coronavirus infection. Malaysian Ambassador to China Raja Nusirwan Zainal Abidin revealed this based on communication with Malaysians over the phone. Raja Nusirwan said the process of obtaining more information on how Malaysians are doing in the affected areas is still ongoing. To date, all 82 Malaysians are still at their homes. Yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said that the government is in talks with China to evacuate Malaysian citizens who are currently trapped in Wuhan. He said if they are successfully brought back, they will be subjected to a 14-day quarantine to make sure they are not infected. Being a politician isn't easy. You're going to upset someone no matter what you do, but at least our health minister knows what he signed up for. The government's plan to introduce a new policy to decriminalize drug abuse in the country is an uphill battle, noted Health Minister Zulkifli Ahmad during his opening speech at the Rethinking Drug Policy in Malaysia forum organised by University Malaya today. He said it was especially difficult as the plan has been misunderstood as an attempt to legalize drug abuse. The minister said the introduction of the new policy was not to score political brownie points, but instead to allow drug addicts to receive proper treatment. Zulkifli said that as a minister from a Muslim party, he was well aware of the potential backlash he could receive from the new policy. But as a politician, he isn't in the business of appeasing everyone. He also offered advice for politicians who wish to appease everyone, suggesting a career switch to an ice cream seller. In June last year, Zulkifli announced that the government planned to move towards removing criminal penalties for personal possession and use of drugs. He said the policy would be implemented within the first term of the Harapan administration. Home Minister Muhyiddin Yassin said the government might want to reconsider the repeal of the Anti-Fake News Act.
Home Minister Muhyiddin Yassin said it is up to the government to decide if they want to reconsider their stance on the Anti-Fake News Act, but there are other laws in place to tackle the spread of fake news as well.
Well, it's something that we might want to rethink if that is necessary. But what's important is the current situation. How do you deal with it? And we have other laws as well. As you mentioned just now, under the Penal Code, the police is taking action based on that, which is quite forceful enough. Secondly, of course, this Suruhanjaya Multimedia.
Muhyiddin was responding to a question on former Law Minister Azalina Othman Said, who had criticized the government for repealing the Anti-Fake News Act. In a Twitter post yesterday, Azalina said that the spread of fake news was the kind of problem the Barisan Nasional government had wanted to stop with the Anti-Fake News Act. 5 people have been detained so far for suspected distribution of fake news content about the coronavirus outbreak. In a statement today, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, announced the detention of 4 individuals this morning. The MCMC said enforcement officers from the commission carried out 4 raids with the help of the police. Another man was detained by the MCMC in Bangi yesterday.
Coming up next, comments from Dr. Mahathir on Sabah banning flights from China. The WHO rethinks on whether it's time to declare an international emergency. What happens when the animal you rescued accepts you as its mother? All that and more after this. Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has responded to the Sabah state government's decision to suspend all flights from China.
Waktu ini belum ada keperluan itu. Kita buat kajian sama ada perlu kita hentikan semua flight ataupun cuma daripada Wuhan, Hubei province saja.
Ada update tentang respon daripada China kan?
Kita baru mula cakap dengan dia orang. Belum dapat respon lagi.
Will the World Health Organization finally declare an international emergency over the coronavirus from China? We'll find out soon. The World Health Organization has announced its emergency committee would meet behind closed doors on Thursday to decide whether the rapid spread of the coronavirus now constitutes a global emergency. This came after foreign governments flew their citizens out of the epicenter of China's coronavirus outbreak on Wednesday. The death toll has risen to 170, and the WHO voiced grave concern about the person-to-person spread of the virus in 3 other countries. They said although the number outside of China is still relatively small, it holds potential for a much larger outbreak. In many Chinese cities, streets were largely deserted, tourist attractions were closed, and shops require people to have their temperatures taken and to wear masks. In a major step towards finding a vaccine, scientists in Australia said they have developed a lab-grown version of the virus, the first created outside of China. The researchers at the Peter Dorothy Institute of Infection and Immunity said they would share the sample, grown from an infected patient, with the WHO and global laboratories in the hope of hastening immunization and detection. A villager picked up a baby macaque and took care of it for days before delivering it to a local authority. But by that time, the little monkey took him as its mother.
Ai Sheng, a villager from the Ximengwa Autonomous County, found the lonely baby macaque at the roadside on his way to work. When he picked the little one up, the animal clung to Ai Sheng and would not let him go.
然后我突然听见它叫，我就停住了机车回来看，原来是小猴子。我一磕个它就跑过来去抱我，我又返回磕它，就硬是来抱我。
Ai Sheng made several tries to release it back into the wild, but no sooner than he left it there, the little monkey ran back to him and held his clothes in its hands, sticking to him. Finally, Ai Sheng delivered the little monkey to the Ximeng Forestry Public Security Bureau, where the experts identified it to be a macaque under the second-class state protection in China, and it could be a baby monkey who got lost from its mother.
经过我们的观察，这只猴子还很小，出生到现在应该还没有满1岁。 像这种情况，如果我们盲目的选择放生，它应该是不具备生存能力的。所以下一步我们将把它移交给救助机构进行救护。
Now the Ximeng Forestry Public Security Bureau has contacted the Wildlife Saving and Helping Institution, where the baby monkey will be receiving training on surviving in the wild before being eventually released back to nature.
And here are the top stories from today. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.